the thing I want to emphasize though is the fact that, simple is always better, right? I think that, most people try to overcomplicate success online. And I was guilty of that too when I first started, but it wasn't until I'm like, wow, like, okay, someone else's product, send eyeballs to it, have a simple quiz or a simple money page. That's it. Right. And, it's changed my life forever. I mean, it's changed my life in ways I never even thought possible. And it's changed the lives of lots of people around the world.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Joel Irway here, and welcome to another very special episode of Experts Unleashed. And you are in for, I am so excited. You're in for an amazing treat today. And so I have a very special guest on the show here today, a good friend of mine, somebody who I've been working with for years and have seen him just really, really blow up in his space. My good buddy Robby Blanchard is joining us on the call here today. And now, I reached out to Robby a few weeks ago because, in full transparency, we're Facebook friends, and he shared a post on his Facebook profile of it was an award or a letter. I'll have him talk about it in just a second. It was an award or a letter that basically said, "Hey, Robby, you're the greatest to ever do this in the entire game. Here are the results that you've done." And I remember I commented on the post. I'm like, "Robby, this needs to be an ad immediately." And so anyway, it was really, really funny because Robby is big in affiliate marketing, and affiliate marketing has been something that I participate in. I have not done it full time. It's kind of, some extra income that I do on the side, but I have always been very, very interested in affiliate marketing. And so Robby is the GOAT. He's literally the greatest of all time on the ClickBank platform. He's the number one affiliate. He has had over 1,300 students of his make a collective earnings of $87 million. That equates to about $66,000 per student. And that's just absolutely incredible. And so I have a really special guest here today. Robby's here, and I'm pumped to chat about his, what he's doing, where he's taking this training, where he's taking his system, and you're going to love it. So Robby, welcome to the show, my man.
Joel, what's going on? How are you?
I'm really excited, if you can't tell.
So nice, me too. I'm happy to be here.
yeah, dude. It's always an honor to have good people on the show, and I'm just gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna treat this like a straight up consulting call, right? Sure. I am going to be a prospective buyer of your system because I'm an entrepreneur. I like shiny objects, and when you've got as much proof as you've got in your system in your methodology, it's hard to ignore it. And so do me a favor, just for my audience that is relatively new to this space, maybe they don't know who you are, maybe they don't know what your background is. Give us a quick, 30-second introduction as to who you are, and we'll start there.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm Robby Blanchard, as Joel said. And just a couple of years ago, probably about 7 years ago, I was a gym owner, right? So I went to school for exercise and sports science, became a personal trainer, ended up owning a CrossFit gym for many, many years. But I was struggling, right? There was times where I ran out of money before I ran out of month, which is never a good thing. And I said, what am I going to do to fix this? And so through my research, I found that most people that I knew that were being successful financially had an online business. And so that kind of got me down this rabbit hole of trying a lot of different things and failing at a lot of different things. I tried having an agency, I tried e-commerce, I tried all these different things, right? If I wasn't so stubborn, Joel, I probably would have given up and quit, right? But I'm very stubborn. I'm a Taurus, right? So I'm just stubborn. So I said, you know what? Let me just figure this thing out. So I ended up stumbling across, basically affiliate marketing, right? Where you basically take somebody else's product that you don't own and you promote it and you get paid a commission on every single sale. And to me, that was like, when I found out about this, it was like 1,000 light bulbs going off in my head being like, wow, this is amazing because I don't have to have my own product. I don't have to have inventory, customer service. I can just run ads to a product and make commission and make money, which is I think the purest form of having an online business, right? Which is the reason why we all start an online business is to make money, right? And so for me, that kind of got me on that rabbit hole. And I took it to the next level. Basically, I went from making a couple sales a day to then making $1,000 a day to then making $50,000 a day. And then eventually, what happened was I got so good at it that I actually became officially number one on ClickBank, which is one of the largest, actually the largest platform for affiliate marketing products. I've won the ClickBank Diamond Award for doing over $5 million in a single year. I've done it 2 years in a row. But the thing I'm most proud of is what you just mentioned, Joel, is the fact that my students that I've taught this to have had a lot of success too. Actually, and this is actually the letter. This is
Yep,
the
share
letter
with us.
from ClickBank themselves. And basically, they analyzed over 1,300 of my students, and in the past couple of years, those students have done $87,831,489 in gross sales. And the crazy thing, Joel, is that's 1,300 students. I have over 11,000 students. So I don't even know what that number would be, but much higher than 87 million.
Right.
And that's the thing that gets me so excited, because at the end of the day, I'm a big believer. If you want to get what you want in life, you need to help as many people as possible get what they want in life. And so this just kind of confirms that we're doing that. And I'm very blessed to be in that position. Yeah.
It's amazing, man. So I actually want to go back in your story a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So like that's an awesome, like big picture overview, but like
Yep.
I'm an engineer. I like getting into the details, right? And so,
Yep.
when was it that you started dabbling in affiliate marketing? And what year? Do you remember?
It was right around 2015.
Okay, so 2015, you were still working in the gym business, right?
Yep. Full time. Yep.
Cool. And so, is this when you discovered ClickBank, or were you dabbling in other affiliate networks? Like, what was the like? What kind of? How did you get introduced to affiliate marketing? How did you discover it?
Yeah, good question. So pretty much what happened was, as a gym owner, I would always follow a couple of guys that taught you how to grow your gym business, right? And so there was one guy, his name was Bedros Koulian. He was a mentor of mine, and he actually had him and this guy Craig Ballantyne, another mentor of mine, started a mastermind. It was called the 100K Info Product Mastermind, right? So basically, it was like how you can create your own product and put it onto ClickBank, for example, and then do affiliate marketing and make money, right? So I actually joined that mastermind. At the time, I think it was a lot of money for me at the time. I don't think I even had the money for it, but I just did it anyways, because I knew that getting a coach, a mentor, is the fastest way to success. So I did it, put it on the card. And that's where I found out about ClickBank. And basically, the way I found out about it was they said, "Hey, Robby, like you need to come up with your own product. That's the way to success." And so I came up with a product. It was a CrossFit focused product, and I'll never forget this, Joel. I remember joining the mastermind, creating the product, working so hard on it. And I remember going to the mastermind. It was in Miami, and seeing all these people. And at the time, email marketing was like the big thing to do with affiliate marketing. So I went to every single person in that mastermind. I said, "Hey, would you be willing to promote my product?" Because that's what you're told to do. Every single person, Joel, said no.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and the reason why is because all these people had big email lists that were weight loss focused, right? Kind of oriented. Where my product was not a weight loss product, so there's disconnect. And so at the time, I'm like, oh my gosh, like here I am. I spent all this money to be part of the mastermind, and nobody wants to promote my product. What am I going to do? You know? So literally, what I did, Joel, is that night, I'll never forget that night. I said, you know what? I'm going to try just run like some Facebook ads, because in the past, that's what turned my gym around. Was running Facebook ads for like a challenge for my gym. And it took that gym from being down and out to then just exploding at the seams. And so I said, well, maybe if it worked for my gym, maybe it'll work for this product. So didn't know what I was doing really. So I said, okay, let's just go ahead and set up a couple ads. It was maybe $20 I was spending, something like that a day. I set my ads up, go to bed. Next morning, I'm in Miami, wake up in my hotel room, check my ClickBank account, expecting to see all zeros. And I saw I had 3 sales. And I said, oh my gosh, like 3 sales, this is crazy. And at the time, and it was like maybe $30, $40 in the sales, right? But for me, it might as well have been 40 million, because I was like, this is insane, right? I remember calling my parents and saying, hey, did you guys buy my product? And they're like, what product? And I'm like, all right. It wasn't my parents. So I knew somebody in the world who I didn't know, never met, was on Facebook, saw my ad, clicked on it, bought the program, and I got paid, right? And so for me, that was like a light bulb moment, right?
And
And
this
that's
is a
where
product owner. This is not like this
yeah,
is not even on the affiliate side. This is
no,
you selling your own product, but you got introduced. I mean, So for those of you who aren't aware, ClickBank runs both sides. Like you can host your product there, or you can be an
Hmm.
affiliate. So it's kind of that all-in-one solution in case people are getting confused. Anyway,
Yep.
so keep going. You made your first 3 sales.
Yeah.
Parents didn't buy it. You're in the black.
I'm doing all right. So I said, okay, man, I'm onto something here, right? So then, I started to spend a little bit more money. I went from like $20 to like $23, and I was really going crazy. And I just kept going up, and so I ended up having some success, and I ended up doing about $1,000 a week with my own product on Facebook ads, right? And then I remember being in the mastermind. I remember finally there was people starting to come up to me and saying, "Hey, Robby, like, how are you getting these sales without an email list?" I'm like, "Well, I'm just running Facebook ads." They're like, "Well, could you try my product on Facebook and see how it goes?" And, okay, cool. So I started running other people's products, right? And then I started to see even more success because these guys were way better at creating products than I was. I was just a newbie, right? So they were way better and more dialed in with that. And so I started to scale up some of their products, and it got to the point where there was some products that I promoted where they would do like these monthly contests. At the time, people with big email lists would win those contests, but then, here comes me with no email list, and I'm starting to win these contests, which is my Facebook ads, right? And then it got to the point where really my big breakthrough was in 2017. So this is like a couple of years of just grinding it out. 2017, there was a affiliate contest for a product called Fat Diminisher. It was a weight loss product, and basically the prize for that, it was for the month of May. The person that does the most front end sales, with a minimum of 5,000 front end sales, would get their 90% commission plus $5,000 in cash plus a Rolex watch, right? And I said, okay, well, let me go ahead and see if I can, do this with my ads. So month of May finished out. I didn't have 5,000 front end sales. I had 6,000 front end sales. I ended up winning the contest, and then I won the $5,000 in cash plus my commission plus the Rolex watch. And that was crazy, Joel, because never in a million years did I ever think I'd own a Rolex watch, let alone win one, right? And so that really kind of got me on this thing, like, wow, this is crazy. Like, there is no ceiling with what we do here. So that was in 2017, and then 2019 was when I really kind of just became number one on ClickBank. And so crazy story with that is that basically it was in I wasn't really running too much in December. I was kind of taking it easy. I said, I'm going to start my ads up again and see if I can get things going. And I remember it was like first week in January 2019. And I remember someone messaged me on Skype, and they said, "Hey, Robby, like, congrats, you're in third place." And I was like, "Cool, for what?" And they're like, "Oh, for the, like, ClickBank's doing a contest right now for like the top affiliate, blah, blah, blah." So I said, "Wow, okay, cool. Like, I'm in third place. I didn't even know there's a contest. Maybe I should try a little bit and let's see if I can win this thing." So that month of January, I pushed and pushed and pushed. I ended up doing $981,000 in sales in that month of January. Won the ClickBank contest, beat all the big names in the contest, and became number one. And the rest, they say, is history.
You know, it's so fascinating because coming from a product owner side, which is what I am, I have my own products, right?
Yep.
Um, there's value on all sides of the coin, meaning like there's value in knowing how to run traffic. There's value in having
Mhm.
a great product. There's value in all sorts of different things. But it's like if you
Mhm.
look at the surface level of making a sale, you've got
Mhm.
the offer, and then you've got how are you going to send people to it.
Mhm.
And what I love about your story, that entire Genesis story, is like when you went from selling your own product to then selling other, like helping run traffic for other people's products and having
Yep.
even bigger success.
Mhm.
What that really accentuates for me is a couple of things. Number one, if you know how to run traffic, you will never go broke. Like if you
Yes.
know how to run profitable traffic, you will never go broke. And
Mhm.
number two, like there are there are it's so important to find great offers and
Mhm.
great offers that convert,
Yep.
and there's no shortage of them. Meaning like you can like there will always be people who will need promotion for a great offer. And
Yep.
I will tell you, and this isn't diminishing anything that we're talking about here,
Mhm.
creating a great offer and a great product is really, really freaking hard.
It
Like
is.
it is so hard because
Yeah.
just like what you did, Robbie, and this is what so many people goes, this is what I coach. This is what I do is I work with people and helping them create products. It's like
Mhm.
if your product or your offer just if the market doesn't want it,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do. You're going to send traffic to it and it's just going to be like beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
And so that's why I've always been so attracted to affiliate marketing is
Mhm.
because number one, I don't have to fulfill on anything. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I would love to just collect the cash and,
Mhm.
send traffic to someone who's already done the legwork, created a great offer, get paid a commission. I get paid to sit home and I just turn the dial, right? Turn the
Yeah.
dial on ad spend. Like, is it converting? Sweet. Let's spend a little bit more, see how it goes. Is it still
Yeah.
converting? Sweet. Let's spend a little bit more. And I'm done, right? I would
Yep.
much rather, I mean, I don't want to like cannibalize my business, but like I would much rather just sit and monitor that dial and say, okay, cool. Like now how many more offers can I bolt on? Like
Yeah.
it's just such a cool business model. Like if you learn traffic, like you'll
Mhm.
never be broke.
Yep.
You'll never be broke because there's no shortage of offers. There will never be a shortage
Mhm.
of converting offers.
Yep.
And anyway, that was an awesome story. Like I didn't know that about you. I actually
Oh,
did
yeah.
not know that you were in that mastermind with Vidros and Craig. Like I knew your background was in fitness and whatnot, but
Mhm.
that's cool. Like you started just running traffic for other people. Like oh, like hey, I can sell anything.
Yeah, pretty much. And that was the thing I found out was that most people had a really good offer. They didn't know how to run traffic, right? So it's hard. You never really find people that have an offer and run traffic that's and really good at it, right? So that was where I kind of had that advantage. And then the honestly the best thing that ever happened to me was when all those affiliates told me no, right? Because it forced me to figure it out. And like I said, it all came full circle because the people that said no, later on were approaching me to promote their offer on Facebook, right? Because their email wasn't as good as it used to be. And so that was pretty cool. So yeah, it's been a crazy journey. And so basically what happened was, when I won the ClickBank contest, I kind of made a deal with myself. I said, you know what, if I win this ClickBank contest, then I'll think about putting together a program or something to help other people be successful, right? Because I'll even tell you, like I don't tell too many people this, but a year prior, probably about 2018 or so, I actually had a kind of an outline of a program done on like how to help people out, but I never released it. And the reason why was I was like, man, I don't know if I'm good enough. Like, I don't know if I can teach people this, they'll get results, blah, blah, blah. But then I said, you know what? If I win the ClickBank contest and I'm like documented number one, I'm going to do it. and so I did. And then so we started on that journey. That was just about 3 years ago now. And like I said, since that time, we've helped over 11,000 people generate over $87 million, and much, much more. And the best thing I love about it is it's not like people that had a tech background or were online No, like they're just regular people, ordinary people from all over the world, that are just following the system and having success. And so that to me, that's awesome. Like my success is great and everything, but nothing gets me more excited than get out of the bed fast in the morning when I'm thinking about my student success. So that's really what drives me.
Love it, dude. I mean, it's amazing just to I've been in this game for a while, and one of the biggest limiting beliefs is like, hey, how fast can I have success? And it's like that's why I love this podcast because that's really what I try to do is I try to unpack the
Yeah.
journey of going from zero to hero or like
Hmm.
how you got that success. And it's like from 2015 when
Hmm.
you were struggling in your gym and then you joined a mastermind, put
Yeah.
that on a credit card. And even though you didn't get that direct ROI, like, you launched a
Hmm.
product, but like that led to the next door, which led to the next
Yeah.
door, which led to the next door. And that's what people really have to understand. It's like
Hmm.
you have to be willing to open that first door, accept that invitation to the first door, and
Yeah.
then keep exploring because you never know where that's going to lead. So from 2015 to 2017 was when I think if I took these notes properly, that's when you won your first affiliate contest was in
Yep.
2017 for a fat diminisher weight loss program. Is that
Yep.
correct?
Yep. That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So 2018 you launch Commission Hero, and the big promise of the program is getting to your first $1,000 day, right? Isn't
Hmm.
that like the big kind of goal?
Yep. That's the big goal. Yeah. And for me, that's something that I always, because I remember when I got my first $1,000 day online, it was like, I remember checking my ClickBank account and I had to like, I had to like refresh it a couple times. I had to like stare at it. Like I was looking, I'm like, is this like real? Did I really make $1,000 in a single day?
Yep.
Um, and the answer was yes, I did. And so, for me, that was always like kind of a special moment. So I said, you know what, like that's kind of the goal for students, right? Like I want you to come in, I want you to get that, work towards that $1,000 day, and then go from there because $1,000 seems so far and out of reach for a lot of people. But then when you hit it, you're like, oh, what's next? Like 5,000 or 10,000 or more, right? And I think that's something special about that, right? Because this shows what's possible. But even just that's the big goal. But even the simple goal of getting your first sale online is huge because you always remember your first sale. And I tell my students, hey, listen, like the first sale is awesome because if you can do it once, you can do it 100 times, you can do it 1,000 times, right? It's just a rinse and repeat, and it gets easier and easier as you go along.
Do you remember what your first $1,000 day was? What product it was? Like what product got you to that first $1,000 day?
Yeah, it was a product called Unlock Your Hip Flexors. What?
So random. Like that's what I love about these offers. Like,
Yeah,
man, they're so
yeah,
you'd think that it has to be like this big name program,
yeah.
but it doesn't, or like offer or supplement or whatever, but like
No,
it doesn't. Like there's just massive volume of
yeah,
buyers and products. It just unlock
yeah,
your hip flexors. Like
yeah.
$1,000 a day in commissions from unlock your hip flexors. Like,
Yeah,
get
it's
out
just
of
a, it
here.
was just a stretching program. It's got 10 stretches in it. I think it was like maybe a $15 product, and then it had some upsells on the back end and stuff. But yeah, and the reason why it works so well, honestly, Joel, is like we really focus on large categories and niches. And that's one of the reasons why our students have so much success because, like, for example, we focus on a weight loss offer. For example, like pretty much everybody wants to lose weight, at some point in their life, right? So it's very easy to target that, right? Or like Unlock Your Hip Flexor was like a pain relief type of thing. People low back pain, like a lot of people have that, millions of people. So we don't focus on like these really tiny like basket weaving or anything like that. We really focus on large categories because it makes it easier to have success. You're targeting your advertising is more effective, and when you find a winning creative and ad, like you can scale, which is what we want to do. Yeah,
Well, let's go there next, right? So like
yeah,
if I'm new to this space, which I've never advertised or sold anything on ClickBank in the
hmm,
past, like
yeah,
where is it that I want to start? Is it like, you know, obviously we want to get set up in ClickBank first, right? We don't really
yeah.
want to talk about that. That's irrelevant. Like those, people can figure that out, or it's in your program.
Sure.
But like, once you get set up on that platform, like where do I go? Am I looking for offers first? Am I like, what's my planning
Mhm.
stage?
Yeah, great question. So this is something where it's so simple that you might feel like there should be more to it. But what most people do is they try to find like the most obscure offer or an offer that a lot of people aren't promoting, or because they're worried about there's a little bit of scarcity there. Where like, well, I don't want too many people promoting this offer at the same time. I learned very quickly you got to do the opposite, right? So what I do is in ClickBank, there's their marketplace, and you go into the marketplace, and literally you hit the search bar, and you just look at the overall top offers, right? So literally, overall, regardless of category, and just so you know, the overall are always going to be weight loss at the top. But I look at the first two pages of ClickBank. That's it in terms of the marketplace, and if it's on the first two pages of ClickBank, then I know without a doubt it converts. People are buying it, and it's going to work, right? So that's a big relief because in the past I would have to, if it was an obscure offer, I'd have to test it first and see, oh man, will this even sell, right? And then sometimes I'd spend time, energy, effort, and money on a product that didn't sell. And so I said, well, this is no good. Like why don't I just get rid of that roadblock and just promote products that I know work and they do sell. So that's, oh my gosh, what a great relief, because now I don't have to worry about that. Now I can focus on the other aspects, which is just getting eyeballs onto that offer. And so that's what we do. We just focus on the high converting offers. And the great thing about targeting those large categories is it doesn't matter how many people are promoting that same product. There's room for everybody, right? It's just, if you have 100 people promoting the same product, but you're advertising to an audience of 200 million people, there's plenty of room,
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we focused it on it, and we keep it so simple. It's just top offers, high converting category, and there's one other thing we focus on is the payout, right? How much does it pay us per sale? And so nowadays it's so great because when I first started, I would be over the moon excited if I got paid about $35-$40 a sale with commission, right? Nowadays on ClickBank, they have supplement offers, right? And an average payout is like $100 to $120 per sale, right? So now you're getting paid 3 times as much as I used to get paid doing the same thing. so and this is why that $1,000 a day mark becomes so much more attainable, because if you're getting paid $120 for every sale, how many sales do you need to get to $1,000 a day? Less than 10, right? So like you're like, wow, I can probably get less than 10 sales a day. Like that's very attainable and very doable. And then it just goes on from there. So that's why those are like the 3 things I look for on ClickBank.
Cool. So I only got two of them. First 2 pages. Look for the top converting offers. First two
Mhm.
pages of ClickBank. What's the payout? Maybe I missed the third one. What's
Yes. Oh, and then large category, right? Has to be a large
large
category
category?
niche. Yep. Yep.
Got it. Okay. So large category.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. So, all right. So we hop in and we filter the products, and I know ClickBank, like, it literally shows us like, hey, here you go. Like it's not hard to find that, right? I mean,
No.
because they want as many affiliates as possible, right?
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
So, so what happens after that? Like, okay, cool. Like I've see these offers, these ones are
Mhm.
converting, payouts right there.
Mhm.
What's next?
Yeah, so the next step for me is typically what I'll do is I'll actually watch the or get the product information. So I'll usually have what they call a VSL, which is a video sales letter. So I will actually, as boring as it is, I'll watch the VSL, and during that time, I'll take out a notepad and I'll write down all the things that I think this VSL is speaking to. Right. So basically, I'm trying to build out my avatar, right, the ideal customer for this product. Okay. And so, is it are they targeting women? Or are they targeting men? Like, how old is the people they're targeting? Where are they from? Are they married? Are they single? Are they overweight? Like, all this stuff. I build out the avatar, right? And then once I build that avatar out, then I start to build my kind of advertising campaign that I'm going to run on Facebook, right? So the first step is I have to create what I call a money page, right? Now, a money page is a very simple, like one page, I guess you call it a website, but it's just a one page landing page. And basically, what it does is it's usually a quiz, is what we do, right? So I always work in reverse. So, the end user will see an ad on Facebook. They'll then click to the money page, then they'll click to the offer. So I build my campaign the opposite, right? Because that way I know when I build my campaign, it's going to be congruent the entire way through, right? Because if you do the opposite, where you try to build your ads first, then build your landing page, now the offer is a secondary thought, and there could be a disconnect, right? So I always build my offer opposite, right? So it's kind of a golden nugget there. And then, so basically, the money page is basically a quiz. It's like a 3 or 4 question quiz. And it just asks questions, curiosity based questions for the person that's viewing that quiz. So, for example, the first question I always ask is like, an example would be when you wake up in the morning, do you get up on the right side of the bed or the left side of the bed? Right. And so it's a question where people will say, well, why are they asking me this? This is about like weight loss. Well, maybe getting up on the left side is better for my weight loss, right? Or maybe maybe it's worse. Like, which one, so then it's like, all these thoughts start to happen in their head during the quiz. And then we go on to the next question, which would be, for example, like, something along the lines of like, how many days a week do you or something like in the past, what have you done and failed at when it came to losing weight, right? So then now we're getting these kind of emotional based questions coming in, and then finally the last question is like, if you could learn about a simple solution, a 2-minute solution that could blah blah blah, would you want to learn about it? Well, yes. Okay, then it clicks and takes them over to the actual offer. So essentially, that's why we have a money page. The second reason we have a money page is because Facebook does not allow you to directly send people to an offer directly, and which is fine. And because with the money page and the quiz, we actually get more sales by having more resistance to get to the offer. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually didn't even know that. Like even being an experienced marketer and
Mhm.
running traffic to my own offers, I just thought you were kind of sending them straight to the VSL. I didn't know that
No.
Facebook it was
No.
against their terms or whatever.
Yep.
Are you collecting an email at the end of the quiz?
No.
No. So it's just building intent, right? So it's
Billing
just
intent. Yep. Yep.
yep.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
we
why
oh, go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah, we tested collecting emails, and our day one like return on investment like tanked big time. And so because you got to remember, like these products are anywhere in the $40 to $100 range. They're emotional based purchases, right? So when someone is goes through the quiz, and the reason why we have the quiz is obviously Facebook wants us to have a page in between. And it also changes people's mindset because when people are on Facebook, it's just kind of a social mindset. They're just kind of just aimlessly scrolling, and we want people to go to the page and then they have more of a buyer's mindset, and we want to prime them for the offer. But yeah, that's the reason behind it. And so, that makes a big difference in terms of conversions. And so, yeah, so we go straight for the actual sale on day one. We're trying to be profitable on day one. And almost all the time we are once we get dialed in.
Yeah. I love it, man. That's
Yeah,
something that I wanted to test for so long is
yeah,
quizzes. And
yeah,
it, you know, but I don't have a mass market offer. So anyway, I digress, right?
yeah,
So we got a quiz. So for those of you who aren't internet marketing savvy, right? So your money page is a quiz page. So you're asking them that 3 or 4 questions,
yep,
building up intent, kind of like building that buying pressure, and then
hmm,
ultimately that directs them to whatever the affiliate product that you're promoting at that
yep,
point.
yep.
And so, all right, cool. And so you got the money page, and then what happens after that?
Yeah. So then after we get the money page built up, now we go. Obviously, remember we're working in reverse here. So now we're going to work on the actual ads that people are going to see on Facebook. When so for example, when you scroll in your news feed on your phone, you'll see like ads pop up, and that's where we're going to have our ads. And so one of the things we do, or one of the things we don't do on our ads, is we don't sell on the ad, right? We don't mention buy this. We don't do any of that stuff, right? Because remember, Facebook's a social platform, right? Nobody goes onto Facebook in the morning say I want to buy a weight loss program. Nobody does that, right? People go onto Facebook to see what their friends are doing, look at memes. That's what they do, right? And so we have to grab their attention. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do like a curiosity based image, right? Um, it could be a illustration type of image. It could be it actually can be a video in some cases too. And then basically what we want to do is we want to get people to stop scrolling, right? We want them to just stop dead in their tracks and be like, "Whoa, what is going on here?" Right? And the reason why we do this is basically what we're doing is we're creating open loops. And so if you're not familiar with what an open loop is, basically if in a real world example, if I were to say to Joel, "Hey, did you hear what happened today?" and I didn't say anything else, well, guess what? I created an open loop, and now in Joel's mind, he has to close the open loop because he just has to. Like it will drive him crazy if he didn't know what happened today, right? And so we do that on Facebook, but we do that with the actual image, right? So the image will be maybe it's a little bit strange, or it's like it's they're cooking something in a pan. You're not sure exactly what it is, or it has apple cider vinegar, and it's like pointing. It's like what is going on here, right? So it makes you want to go and click over to the actual page and find out what it is because you have to close that open loop. And then basically what we do is we support the image in the our video with some advertising copy. Now the advertising copy is not technical. It's not like you don't have to be a good copywriter. You want to basically talk in the first person and basically tell a story, right? So here's an example. If I were to write a copy for a weight loss product, I would say, the other day I was at the grocery store and I bumped into a person and I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bump into you." And come to find out, it was my friend Susan. I didn't even recognize her. And I said, "Susan, what have you been doing?" And Susan went on to tell me about this amazing 10-second blah, blah, blah that changed her life. And I said, I was a little skeptical at first, but I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And now I feel amazing. So if you want to learn more about this, tap the image. So see how it's very social in
Yep.
its language. It makes sense on Facebook because people talk like that. And also, it's very compliant because nowhere in the copy do I mention losing weight, fat loss, which are words that Facebook doesn't necessarily like. But if I tell a story and allude to it, and you basically know what I'm saying without saying it, it makes a powerful impact, right? And it ties in the example of the image, which then leads into the actual money page. So that's what we do, and that works very, very well.
So what are some like as we start to run traffic, like
Mhm.
do you have any key indicators that we look for? Like, how do we know what, aside from, hey, it's making money or not, but like, what are
Yeah.
some leading indicators that tell us, like, hey, we're on the right path?
Yeah, good question. So for me, I really follow two metrics, right? The first metric is the click through rate on the ad. So basically, click through rate means how many people are seeing the ad and then clicking on it, going to the next page. So for click through rate, a good indicator is around 7 to 12%. So if out of 100 people, 7 to 12 people click on the ad, that's a good indicator you got their attention and they want to know what's going on, right? When they get to the actual money page, the quiz, the click through rate from the quiz to the actual offer on a quiz, we want to see at least 30%, right? If you do a good job, around 30%. Anything lower than that, you need to adjust your quiz. Anything higher than that is fine as well. But those are the two indicators that I found. If you get it dialed in, you're at 7 to 12% on your ads, you're at 30% on your quiz. Your chances are you're going to make some good money.
So, all right. So we've got really to find your winning product. Number one, you get set up in ClickBank. Number two, find the
Mhm.
crap that's already selling. I don't want to say crap. Find the products that are already selling. I'm saying
Yep.
this just because I'm going fast, but find the products that are already selling. Find the stuff that's already selling. Number three, get that product information, study the video sales letter, right? Number four, create a money page, which is your quiz, right?
Mhm.
Uh,
Yep.
create that buying intent. We're not collecting emails, right? So
Mhm.
just focus on the quiz, create that buying intent.
Yep.
Then number five, work on creating your ads. Your KPIs are going to be your ad click through rate 7 to 12%. So for every 100 people that it shows the ad to,
Mhm.
7 to 12 people are going to click on it, which is
Yep.
really really good.
It is.
And then your money page click through rate is going to be 30%. So of the 30 of 100 people who land on the page, 30 are going to click through to actually see the VSL.
Yep.
Awesome. What is like? It kind of sounds like not too good to be true, but it's like,
Yeah.
okay, the offer's already built. I just have to learn ads, learn how to get up and running. Like realistically, like how fast could somebody get up and running and start running traffic to the first offer that they see that they
Yeah,
click?
it's a good question. I mean, I've seen everything. I've seen some students get up and running in 48 hours and get their first sale. I've seen some students go from doing like $20 a day to then making their first $1,000 a day in 30 days. I've seen a lot, right? And I think that obviously it's on a case by case basis. I think that the big thing is making sure that you get your setup correct, make sure you're in a good spot there with that, making sure that your Facebook account is ready to go. Make sure those things are important because that plays a role in the long term success. But yeah, realistically, if you get up and running, I mean, it's just a matter of getting the ads going, getting the data back from the ads, and then making adjustments on it. But if you do it right and you kind of follow the steps and keep it simple, like man, you can get up and running pretty quickly. Yeah.
I would imagine that probably the biggest hurdle people have is your money page, right? Building that tech, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on is because I know that like in this new version of the program that you're launching, you created
Mhm.
your own software to minimize that time to launch. It's like, okay,
Oh yeah.
now like this is what any great product owner does. This is what any
Mhm.
great um, uh, business owner does. They keep iterating. They keep
Yeah.
iterating. And so I wanted to have you walk us through a quick demo so people
Sure.
could really see like how fast somebody could get up and running using the software that you've created. So
Yeah.
you want to share your screen and you want to rock this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So just to kind of give a little background here. So when we mentioned about the $87 million that our students have done, just keep in mind this was before I had the software. So 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 most of the stuff they would have to do, although it was simple, was a lot of like some manual stuff, right? When it comes to ad creation and copy creation and your fan pages and ad accounts and all that stuff was just kind of manual. Which at the end of the day, the great thing about this is repetitive. So the more you do it, the less time it takes. But that wasn't good enough for me. I said, you know what? Like, how can we make it even simpler? How can we make it more done for you in terms of that? So I said, let's put together this kind of software and make this happen. That's kind of what we've done. So let me actually go ahead and see if I can share my screen here.
Yep.
See if I can figure this out here. Let me see if we're good to go. Let me know if you can see my screen right there, Joel.
Man.
All
Yep.
right, perfect. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So basically, what I did is I put together this brand new software where literally everything you need is inside of this software. So, a couple things that we've done. One of the things that has nothing to do with the X's and O's, but for me is very important, is accountability, right? And so, you got to have your goals listed. So here we actually have our accountability section where you can list your goals. Whether it's getting your first sale, your first $1,000 day, whatever it is, right? That's where we have that set. And once you hit it, you check it off and you're good to go there. We also have the My Why section. So that's important to me too, because at the end of the day, as you realize as an entrepreneur, as an online business owner, you're going to have good days and you're going to have days that aren't so good, right? But you have to have that why. What's the reason why you get started in the first place? And so we have this set up so that way you can always revisit it, right? So maybe you're having not the best day, right? Go back to that why, get fired up again, then get back to work, right? And so we have that, right? Now, one of the things we have here is actually it's called our fan page content tool. So in the past, creating a fan page, basically it's just a page you have on Facebook you need to have in order to advertise. In the past, you'd have to do all manual work in terms of setup and getting it going. And so one of the things we used to do, and it was hard, is we tell people if you have a health-based fan page, you have to find recipes. It's the easiest thing to post, right? That was always tough to do. But now we can actually go and search for recipes right in here, right? So I can click on here, get all the information. Now I have the recipe, the preparation. I can download the image. In 2 clicks, I have everything I need for my post on my fan page, which is pretty cool, right? And I can search for more stuff. I can do quotes if I want to search for quotes, news articles, everything like that, right? If I want to find an image that I want to post on my fan page, maybe I want to find an avocado, for example, right? I can go ahead and search for avocados, right? And let's say I find this sushi here, avocado sushi, and I'm like, you know what? I want to go ahead and I want to edit this image up, right? So instead of having to pay for like an image editor or something like that, I can just use this, right? So now I can say, let me just go ahead and draw. Let me add a little curiosity to this image. Let me just do a little, kind of circle here. Let me get an arrow going into it. Boom, done. I mean, very simple. In the past, I'd have to go on Fiverr, get someone outsourced and paying $20 to get something like this. Whereas I just did it in a couple seconds, right? The name generator. So if you're not sure what to call your fan page, well, you can just generate from here. So Healthy Mondays, that's kind of a cool fan page name, has kind of a brand focus to it. We have the profile pic generator. So in the past, we would always recommend that if you're promoting, for example, a weight loss product, you would want to have an avatar, a person that kind of fits that demographic, right? In the past, you'd have to go on Google and find images, but you didn't know if it was royalty free or not. So we said, you know what? We have a fake person generator. So you can literally generate someone's, and this is actually not a real person, so you can use it, no problem, no issues at all. And put
Now,
that
what do you
on the
mean not a real? What do you mean not a real person? Like
It's not a real person. It's computer generated.
no way. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
it's crazy, right? Yeah, so these are not real people.
Oh,
So, and you can do male or female, and it's great because then that way, it makes more sense because that way, for example, this picture here, right? If I'm promoting a weight loss product and I'm gearing it towards women 40 plus, this is a very relevant, relatable person that fits that demographic, right? So the congruency is there, if that makes sense. Then we have a logo generator. So literally you can create a logo for your fan page,
awesome.
which is very simple to do. So you can search for icons or trophies or whatever you want to put.
I mean, this is like an instant brand builder. This is like an instant brand launcher. I mean,
yeah. Boom.
Anyway, love it.
Cool, right?
Yep.
Then we get into some even better stuff here. So as I mentioned, when it comes to running ads, like sometimes it's like, well, what can I do for copy? What can I do for all that stuff? Well, we actually have a whole ad library here for people. So how about some done for you stuff? So you can just literally swipe and deploy, right? So we have all the headlines. We have some of our best converting copy here, right? So all the copy. And then I talked about those curiosity-based images. Well, guess what? We actually provide you with tons of them, right? So we actually have all these different images you can use. Now you can see these are really curiosity-based. You're not sure exactly what's going on. Like this one here, you're like, well, what is this molecular stuff? Why is the arrow pointing up? What is this stuff here? Those are all those open loop images that we talked about, right? And so we actually just give you these, right? There's over, oh my gosh, we have thousands of these in here. And that saves you a ton of money and time as well, because In the past, you'd have to go on to, for example, Fiverr, pay $10, $20 an image and not even know if it's going to work or not, right? And
Mhm.
so we've eliminated that, and I've just uploaded my entire ad library, my own personal ad library, into the actual software. So all these images work and convert, which is
Oh
kind
my
of cool.
goodness.
Now, the other crazy thing we have here is the actual ad compliance tool. So, one of the things that can happen sometimes is if you're not sure and don't know what you're doing, and you set up your ad copy on Facebook, sometimes the ad can get disapproved, or even worse, the account could get shut down, right? And so this was a problem for people in the past. And so I said, how can we fix this? I wish there was a way to know if before you post on Facebook if your copy is good or not, right? So we can actually paste our copy in here and we can check for compliance issues, right? So now it has the example here on the ad, right? And it says, well, maybe you want to avoid using the word secret or the word diet or things like that, right? Or using the word this, right? This little known, whatever, usually that can be kind of grouped into clickbait, right? Avoid using the word you or your and personal attributes, right? So literally in one click, now I can make some adjustments to my ad copy, and it's going to be more compliant on Facebook, which leads to less issues with Facebook. So pretty cool, right? The other thing we have is also an ad proofreader. So you can literally go in and within one click, you can just paste your copy in there, and it'll tell you how easy it is to read. It also tells you the reading time, okay? And also tells you hey, these two phrases could be simplified, because we want to make sure it's very easy for people to read, right? And so if I can improve this and get this in the 70s, people will read it, actually read the copy, because it's easier to read, which leads to more sales, right?
I want to pause you real quick, Robby. All
Yeah.
right, this is huge. Like this part right here is so critical because, I know, and working with advertisers and working with my own clients,
Mm-hmm.
they feel like they're not a great copywriter, or they feel like they don't know how to write compelling copy.
Yeah.
And where they really struggle is not simplifying it enough. Like they'll write and it'll be okay, but they're
Mm-hmm.
using words that people just don't, they're not easy to read.
Yep.
And that is a critical part of converting ad copy, is making sure that people will read it, they'll understand it, and they'll click through. And so being able to grade your copy, like literally, like
Mm-hmm.
what grade is this reading at?
Yep.
Um, that's so that is such a huge value add. I mean, aside from all the other stuff that's in here, which is amazing, by the way, but like
Yep.
just copy, like a copy editor, a copy proofreader, and a copy grader, like that is so cool, so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. This is actually brand new. We added to it, and it's made a big difference. Now, if you like that, Joel, you're gonna love this stuff here. So this is actually our offer section, right? So we actually have featured offers that literally, these are offers on ClickBank, the ones we recommend that you promote. So you don't have to even worry about what do I promote, what do I not promote. You can go in here in the featured offers, and we update it all the time, so you can see which ones are the best ones to promote. If you're not sure what to promote, well, we have the offer suggestion tool. So you can say, you know what, I want to promote a weight loss offer on ClickBank, and I want to make at least $100 average order value, and I want to get paid on commission. Well, boom. Now you see
Wow.
now the offers that are in the average order value, the type, the network, and you get the information. You go to the sales page in a couple of clicks, right? So it really kind of helps get rid of all the guesswork, right? If you want to get alerted with new offers, right? We actually have an offer alert. So it'll send you an email, send a push notification, because we actually have an app for your phone as well. And it'll notify you when new offers hit the marketplaces. We have the ClickBank marketplace tool, so you can see the brand new offers that are on the ClickBank marketplace, how many people are promoting them at the time. You can see which products are trending up, right? So if this one, for example, is trending up 200%, may be a good idea to promote it, because there's a reason why it's trending up, right? On the same token, you can see what ones are trending down. So maybe they're not doing as well, or people are shifting to another offer. So this is information you can't get on ClickBank itself. And this tool really kind of gives you that inside scoop. And you can also see the top offers based on their rank. And you can see the earnings per sale, which is your commission, the average commission get paid out. Your
Back up a
commission.
little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
hang on one second, Robbie. Why can't we get this on ClickBank? Is this like just something that they hooked you up exclusively because you're the King Kong of ClickBank
No,
offers?
no. Actually, it just kind of came out of frustration, honestly, because for me, I was like, there's got to be a better way for my students to get better information in terms of which offers are working and which ones aren't. And so ClickBank never really had that. And so I kind of had my developers get to work. I said, hey, here's kind of where I want to end up, where we're able to get all this inside information and we can see the metrics and earning per sale, what's trending up, what's trending down. Like, can we do this, and how can we do this? And so it took some time, but we ended up figuring it out. And so that's kind of how this tool came about. So now this is like exclusive to just my students to get access to this stuff, which is kind of cool. But yeah, because if you go on ClickBank, you just see the top offers, and that's really the only metric you get, which is fine and has worked. But how cool is it to be able to see, which offers are trending up, which offers are trending down, all that stuff. I mean, you can actually deep dive into it and actually see check this out. You can actually see like how many people started promoting, right? Based on each month. So you can say, wow, this thing is like really taking off, or
Wow.
the earnings per sale, right? So you can see like, for example, this one here, the earnings per sale was $133 in November. Then it went to $139 and up from there. So you could tell the offer owners were improving their page and getting more money per sale, right? Which is great for an affiliate. So,
It's
so there's a
amazing,
lot of,
man.
yeah, so it's a lot of cool stuff there. And we have it for not just ClickBank, we have it for other networks. There's lots of networks out there. For example, MaxWeb is another one. You get all the information here. AFWorks is another network as well, Perform CB. So, and we're adding more networks as we go along. So that's the offer tool. It has tons of stuff. And it's one of my favorite tools here inside the software. But there's more. I mean, we literally have a video editor tool. So you can actually go in and easily edit and create videos for your campaigns and your ads. It's just simple drag and drop, and it makes it so much easier than having to pay a video editor or someone like that. We actually have a whole landing page editor where you can actually go in and create your landing page in here as well by accessing that tool. We also have a post scheduler. So let me see if I can post this one up. I may have to stop sharing and resharing here, but let me see if it'll. Yeah, I might have to stop sharing and resharing. Let me do that real quick.
Yep.
So if I actually go back and share, let me share this screen here. Give me 1 second. There we go. So in here, I can actually is that the one up? I don't up didn't work. Let me see. Wrong one here. Let me try this tab. Let's see. Chrome tab. Da, da, da. Where is it? I think it's going to be this one. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So here is the post schedulers, which is cool because now I don't have to go into Facebook to post stuff to my fan pages. So literally I can search for the content here. I can select the fan page I want to promote it to, and I can publish it right away, or I can schedule it right away, right? Which just makes it so much simpler. I can also use the bulk scheduling tool. So say I have like 10 different fan pages and I want to post the same recipe to all 10 fan pages. In the past, you'd have to go from one fan page to another. Now you can select both of them at the same time, post that content to all the pages at once,
Wow.
which makes it so much easier. We also have the Facebook Ads Manager tool in here. So you can actually go in and you can actually create a campaign right through the tool, right? So you can get all your stuff. You want to do post engagement or whatever. You can do it all right here inside the tool itself. And then the last thing I want to show you here, Joel, is if we have some time here, is I want to show you the actual landing page editor here. Let me just go ahead and.
Well, I gotta tell you, I mean, yeah, we're definitely gonna look at it. So
Yep.
this is the first time you gave me a demo of the software,
Yeah.
and I was expecting, again, not to minimize it, I was
Mhm.
expecting it to be, okay, cool, here's how to build your landing pages with our software,
Yep.
not expecting it all to be an all-in-one social media platform, an ad builder, an ad analyzer.
Yep.
I knew there was a lot of done-for-you components in it. I
Yep.
did not expect the offer section. Like, dude, that is solid. Like
Great,
that
right?
is
Yeah.
that is a solid program that you guys built. I mean, it gets me excited.
Yeah, it's I mean, for me, we designed it just because I was like, you know what can we do that to really make things just next level, right? Where it's just everything you need for success is in one place, right? And so, and even like the landing page builder, right? You're able to actually go in and actually in here, you can go ahead and we actually have all these landing page templates done for you. So these are all ready to go. You can just select a template and rock and roll. I'll give you an example of how simple it is. So literally, I can go and edit this this landing page. I can click on the whatever I want to edit, and if I want to change this from like a 10-second to a 20-second, I can do that. I hit save, and then basically all this stuff is just drag and drop. So, and this is included. This is all in the software. So basically, one of the other reasons why I did this too is because I really wanted to make sure that there was minimal like expenses for people when they first start out, because when you first start something, it's like, oh, now I got to buy this, I got to do this, I got to do this, and that can be overwhelming. And so we kind of said, well, what if we can just build a software that has all that, and then you can just focus on running your ads.
Can you show us an example of a money page, Robby? Like
Yeah.
what does a quiz page look
Yeah,
like?
let me see if I have one here. We may have, so we have quiz pages here. Let me actually pull up. Let me go back to. Well, let me give you a perfect example. So this one is not a quiz, but let me actually show you this one I was just showing you here, because I think this is a great example as well. So just to show you how simple this is, like, I mean, check this out. So from 2:37 to 1:45. Doing this 20-second coffee tweak every morning changed my life forever, right? So the headline doesn't mention anything about weight, but you know it because from 2:37 to 1:45, right? So you're like, okay, they lost weight. And then a coffee tweak. Well, what is that coffee tweak? Well, now I need to read a little bit more to find out what it is. Now the cool thing here is on here we have like the read time for this article, right? Which is 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes. So it sets the expectation that it doesn't take long to read it, right? And then basically, as I mentioned about the social kind of copy on the ad, you can also have the social copy here on your actual money page, right? So for example, this is not a quiz, but this is a simple money page where she's literally telling her story, right? And you can see here, this is a kind of an avatar of the person that would make sense. Like, I can't believe I'm in my 60s. Well, she doesn't look like she's in her 60s. So I want to pay attention to her because she looks great, right? And so really this is kind of how it kind of lays out. And then essentially it's like, hey, a cup a day keeps the weight away, right? And then here, this is really where it gets kind of interesting, is you actually have a kind of a thumbnail image of like a video, let's say a video player. They click on this, it takes them to the actual VSL, right? So it tells them, it sets the expectation of like, hey, learn this coffee tweak, click to play the button below, right? And so this would be an example, a great example of a very simple page that can, I mean, literally make you $1,000, $10,000 or more. I mean, it's really it's that simple, but that powerful.
Awesome. Love it, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, it's
absolutely.
this I'm sorry, was there more?
No, that's it. Yeah. Well, there's more, but I don't know if we have time.
No, I mean, like, the whole idea of, why I wanted to have you on here was just like to show people the opportunity that exists with affiliate marketing.
Mhm.
It's only getting larger, right? I know that people think, there might be a hurdle with learning how to run ads, but guess what? There's a hurdle with everything.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
pick your battle, pick your
yeah.
poison, and the pros that happen that you get with affiliate marketing. Number one, you don't have
Mhm.
to create your own products. Number
Mhm.
two, you can start small, right?
Mhm.
Talk about that really quick. Like, what is the budget that you typically recommend starting with for ads? Because I know that's going to be a big question that my
Yeah.
listeners' mind. It was a big question that I had too.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so what we do is we do, I call them like $20 tests, right? So essentially, what it's people think in order to make a lot of money they have to start with a lot of money, and you don't, right? Even at the level that I'm at and the success that I've had, I still start with these $20 tests, right? Because you have to make sure you're in a position where it works. And so if you're willing to say, you know what, I'm gonna spend $20 and I'm gonna see how many clicks I get on my ad, I'm gonna see how many what my click through rate is, then you may get some sales, right? Or if you don't get sales, okay, well, you know what went right, and you also know what you need to fix. And so as you start doing these little tests over the long term, it leads to bigger success. And one of the cool things about it, like for example, I one of my students, she started at $20 a day, and she was able to get to $1,000 within 30 days, right? And profit, right, per day, because of these little tests that she was doing. And so I think that's really cool, because really there's no other kind of online model that I know of where you can spend that little and get that big of a result. And that's why I love Facebook too, because at the end of the day, Facebook still to this day, it's one of the cheapest platforms. It's one of the easiest platforms to do these $20 tests. And actually get some data that you can make some good decisions off of. So yeah, so that's what you need to start with, and then once you have that, then you can keep on going more and more.
Yeah, you know, you have to pick your battles, right?
Yeah.
$20 to test to see if something's winning or losing. Like,
Mhm.
I would do that all day long.
Yeah.
On the flip side, if you join this information marketing world, this product creation world, supplements, weight
Mhm.
loss, you name it, it's like, okay, well, you already talked about it earlier, Robby, in your story. Like, you
Yeah.
created a fitness product, you created the
Yeah.
CrossFit product, and
Yeah.
that takes a lot of time. And, the biggest
Yeah.
question mark is you don't know if it's going to sell. And so
Exactly.
this allows you to kind of bypass all of that. Learn the skill of advertising, learn the skill of running traffic, which
Mhm.
you can do for 20 bucks at a time. Do these little micro tests.
Yep.
Is it profitable or is it not? And if it's not, okay, run another 20 bucks
Mhm.
until you start winning. And your software shortcuts all of that. Like there's
Yep.
so much done for you components. Like I know from an advertiser, your image is like the most important thing. Guess
Yep.
what? There's hundreds, if not thousands, of images that you can use and you can
Yep.
search from, which cuts your learning curve. So now that's off the table, right?
Yep.
Um, Writing compelling copy, right? Yes, you're gonna have to
Mhm.
write some copy, but now you've got a grading tool that
Mhm.
tells you, is it easy to read? If it's
Yep.
not, here's what you need to do. Compliance checker. Like
Mhm.
I don't know how much more you can take off the table for people
Yeah.
to have success with this, and that's why I was really excited to have you on. I was
Yep.
excited to deep dive and really treat this like a paid consulting session, and I learned a ton, man. I really did. And I appreciate you coming on, and I know that anyone who's listening right now, you know, they are going to be blown away by the opportunity that's in front of them. If this is something they're seriously considering because they're able to not have to fulfill on a product, that's the biggest
Mhm.
value that I see. That's the biggest benefit that I see is like you don't have to create a product, you don't have to fulfill on it. Just
Mhm.
send eyeballs and you
Yep.
can make a comfortable living doing this.
Yep.
Did I leave anything
Absolutely.
out?
I think we nailed it. I think that's the big thing. And so the thing I want to emphasize though is the fact that simple is always better, right? I think that most people try to overcomplicate success online, and I was guilty of that too when I first started. But it wasn't until I'm like, wow, like okay, someone else's product, send eyeballs to it, have a simple quiz or a simple money page. That's it, right? And it's changed my life forever. I mean, it's changed my life in ways I never even thought possible, and it's changed the lives of lots of people around the world. So yeah, it's if you're looking to have success online, this is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best ways, if not the best way, to make it happen when you first start out.
I love it, man. Well, dude, I know that we are. So you've got, a special link for people to learn more about Commission Hero and this new version that you're coming out with that includes the software, the
Mhm.
new updated version that includes the software. We'll have those links down below, and we'll have them in the show notes down below. So I highly encourage you all give
Mhm.
Robby a follow. Right, check him out everywhere that you can follow him. And seriously check out Commission Hero because if you took away anything from this conversation, I want you to understand that the opportunity is real and it's real for everybody, right? Will you
Yep.
have to learn some things? Absolutely. But welcome to life, man. It's like,
Yeah.
I wish we could just hand you cash, but like this is I've never been more excited to go more into affiliate marketing than I have on this call. So
Awesome.
um, yeah. So we'll have those links down below, in the show notes and down below this page wherever you're watching this. And go check out Robby. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. He's as real as it gets, and I've appreciated being connected with him over the past couple of years. So hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you all on the next one. Take care.